Drift into sleep with the forgotten temples of ancient India. Hello guys, today we will know about the ancient city of Madurai in the 8th century. A place of towering stone and cooling shadows. Please settle yourselves into your linens and find a place of deep rest. This narration is meant to help you relax and fall away into a long and peaceful sleep as we walk through the temple corridors of a kingdom long ago. There is a quiet mystery. A small shrine at the edge of the forest that remains lit by a single oil lamp, though no priest has walked its path in many years. But for now, we only watch the moon rise over the gopurams and feel the warm evening breeze. The city is very old, and the stone walls are thick and cool against the heat of the day. The streets are narrow and paved with river stones, worn smooth by centuries of bare feet and wooden wheels. Every house is small, built of sun-dried brick and thatched with palm leaves. The air smells of sandalwood incense and damp earth, and the distant sound of the temple bells. It is a rhythmic sound, a slow and steady pulse, that guides the city into its nightly slumber. In the morning, the light arrives slowly through the humid tropical mist. The sun does not rush. It creeps over the palm groves. The great stone towers of the temple stand as silent guardians. The bells begin to chime low and resonant, calling the people to the tanks for their morning wash. But today, we move slowly. Our steps are soft on the dust of the road. There is no hurry in our hearts, only the steady breath of the morning. The ordinary people begin their day in the dimness of their small courtyards. A family stirs in a house near the eastern gate. The room is sparse, but it is cool from the thick mud walls. The floors are swept clean and decorated with white rice powder. There is a smell of boiling rice, and the fresh scent of jasmine flowers picked from the garden. The father rises first. His movements are deliberate and quiet. He wraps a simple dhoti of unbleached cotton around his waist. It is worn thin from many washings in the river. He dons no shirt, for the air is already warm and heavy. His feet are bare, his soles hardened by the earth. He moves to the small household altar and lights a small clay lamp filled with coconut oil. A small orange glow remains, a tiny spark that has survived the long night. He watches it and breathes softly. The mother wakes the children with a gentle touch on their foreheads. They sleep on woven reed mats for coolness, tucked under thin cotton wraps. The children do not shout. They whisper in the gray light. They know the routine of the morning. They know the chores that await them in the stillness. They dress in simple loincloths and tie their dark hair back with bits of twine. Breakfast is a quiet affair, served on large green banana leaves that have been wiped clean. There is a mound of steamed rice, white and soft, and a small ladle of lentil broth seasoned with turmeric. They eat with their right hands. The motion of fingers to mouth is rhythmic and soothing touch. Lift, eat. They drink water from copper vessels. The liquid is cool and metallic. It settles the stomach for the day ahead. Outside, the street begins to breathe. A water carrier passes by with 2 heavy clay pots balanced on a wooden yoke. His feet make a dull thud on the earth, thud, thud, thud. He does not speak. He only moves with the weight of the water. A temple elephant trumpets once in the distance, then falls silent. The mist is still thick, clinging to the carvings of the gods, hiding the sharp edges of the stone. The father sets out for his workshop. He is a weaver of cotton, a small trade for a quiet man. He walks with his head down, observing the patterns of the dust. Some paths are smooth, others are rutted by the ox carts. He knows every turning of the lane. He knows the smell of the dyer's vat, and the scent of the flower stall where the garlands are being strung for the morning puja. The dyer's shop smells of indigo and iron. It is a pungent scent that fills the lungs. The dyer is covered in a fine staining of blue and red. He moves like a spirit in the steam of his vats. He hangs the long strips of cloth on bamboo poles to dry. The cloth sways in the wind, long slow waves, disappearing into the shadows. The dampness from the vats cools the father's face as he passes. In the market stalls, the vendors are setting out their wares. There are baskets of peppercorns, black and shriveled. There are sacks of dried pulses and golden grains. The colors are muted earthy ochres and deep browns. A woman arranges a row of clay lamps on a wooden board. Her hands are dusty from the kiln. She moves them with a steady, practiced rhythm. The children of the house have their own tasks. The eldest boy carries a pot to the temple tank. He waits his turn on the stone steps. The water is green and still. He dips the pot, hearing the gurgle as the air escapes. He pulls it up, the weight pulling on his small arms. He watches the ripples circles moving outward, fading into the reflection of the clouds. The younger daughter stays with her mother. She learns to grind the spices. The granite mortar hums a low, vibrating note. It is a song of patience. The black pepper and cumin seeds crush beneath the stone, releasing their heat. She watches the pestle turn round and round, a dizzying, peaceful motion. The paste grows smooth, a dark smudge of flavor, connecting the earth to the meal. As the sun rises higher, the city becomes a tapestry of soft noises. The clatter of a wooden cart, the solid wheels grinding against the dirt, the bullock's hooves making a rhythmic beat, clop-thud, clop-thud. The driver does not use a whip. He speaks to the oxen in a low murmur, a language shared between man and beast. The bullocks understand and lean into the wooden yoke. The shops are small and open to the street, with heavy wooden beams supporting the thatch. Inside, the air is still. A goldsmith counts his tiny weights, dropping them into a wooden box. One by one, tap, tap, tap. A potter pulls a wet piece of clay on a spinning wheel. The sound is a soft hiss, a sigh of material being shaped by a hand. He works by the shade of a banyan tree, his eyes focused on the center of the spinning world. At midday, the families gather again for a simple meal, perhaps a bit of fermented curd and a piece of flatbread, or a bowl of vegetable stew. The stew has gourds and greens and local beans, simmered until they are soft and tender. It is a warm bowl of comfort. The steam rises into the air, blurring the faces of the children. They eat in silence, listening to the caw of a crow on the roof. The afternoon brings a heavy heat, a stillness that turns the air into a weight. The city reflects the white sun. The shadows are short and dark. A palm wine seller moves through the lane. His skin is dark and glistening. He sells his drink from a dried gourd. The liquid splashes like rain as he pours it out. It is the drink of the laborer, the coolness that keeps the fatigue at bay. In the village school, a group of boys sits on the sand beneath a peepal tree. They hold sharpened sticks to write in the dust. The master speaks in a low, monotonous voice. He recites the ancient verses, and the boys repeat them back. A chorus of young voices, rising and falling like the wind. The stick scratches on the sand, a dry rhythmic sound. They learn their prayers in the dappled light Namo Narayanaya. The streets are filled with the labor of the ordinary. A cleaner sweeps the dust from the temple steps. She uses a broom of stiff palm fronds, back and forth, back and forth. The stone turns from dusty brown to a pale gray. She wipes her brow with her cloth and continues her work. Her movements are steady. A dance of necessity. A stone carver walks by, a man with hands calloused by the chisel. He carries a small bag of iron tools. His eyes are fixed on the unfinished pillar of the temple, the granite block that reaches for the sky. He knows the secrets of the stone, the hidden pathways of the vein. He moves quietly, a creator among the created, near the river Vaigai. The banks are a place of slow movement. The laundrymen are washing the clothes of the city. Their arms are strong and rhythmic. They beat the cloth against the flat rocks. Thwack, splash, thwack, splash. The sound echoes across the water. The white cloth spreads out to dry like fallen clouds. They work with steady hands, cleaning the past for the morning. The forgotten temple, the shrine mentioned in the whispers of the forest, sits on a hill. It is covered in vines. Its stones are granite thick and weathered. The carvings are faded by the monsoon rains. It tells of a king who gave everything to the silence, and a God who remains in the dark. But the people do not go there often. They only know the rhythm of the city and the comfort of the main temple. As the afternoon fades into evening, the light turns to gold. The sun sinks behind the western hills, casting long thin shadows across the paddy fields. The temple attendants begin their rounds. They carry long torches with oily wicks at the end. They reach up to the stone oil brackets, and one by one, a small yellow flame appears. It is a necklace of light, stretching around the sanctuary. The families return to their courtyards. The weaver closes his loom. He sweeps the floor of his hut, gathering the tiny scraps of cotton and thread. He puts his shuttles in their wooden box, clicking the lid shut. It is a sound of completion. He walks home in the cooling air, the sweat drying on his back. He is tired, but it is a good tiredness. The mother prepares the final meal of the day, a dish of mashed bananas and a bowl of warm milk. The scent of the milk is sweet and heavy, like a blanket of cream over the room. The children help to clear the mats. They move with soft feet, careful not to disturb the peace of the evening. The oil lamp is refilled one last time. The flame flickers softly, releasing the scent of the coconut. They sit in the courtyard for a time. The father tells a story of the great flood, a story of a time when the river rose to the height of the temple gates. His voice is a low murmur, a soft vibration that lulls the children. They lean against the mud walls, their eyes growing heavy. The lamplight dances on the thatch, creating shapes that shift and change. The city outside is settling. The noise of the carts has stopped. The bullocks are in their sheds, chewing on dry straw. The sound of their chewing is a rhythmic, grinding noise, peaceful and constant. The herdsmen have gone to their mats, sleeping in the dust near the animals. The warmth of the oxen rises through the night air, a natural heat. The bells of the temple strike the hour of the final puja, 8 slow, deep tolls that vibrate in the chest. It is the time for the closing of the gates, the silence. The word comes from the spirit Shanti, to be still. The priest uses a heavy wooden bar to secure the inner doors, preserving the sacredness for the morning. The city grows darker. The shadows lengthen. The children lie down on their mats. The reed is cool and smooth. They pull the thin cotton wraps up to their waists. They listen to the sound of the crickets in the garden, a low hum that sings them to sleep. The father and mother share a final drink of water. The taste of the copper is clean and cold. They speak in whispers about the coming rains and the health of the family. The forgotten temple on the hill remains silent. Its oil lamp burns low. Its predictions are silent. The loneliness it speaks of is a distant cloud, not yet understood. The city is safe in the arms of the night. The mist has returned, thicker now, wrapping the huts in a white cocoon. The river flows on dark and silent, carrying the dreams of the kingdom out to the sea. We move further into the heart of the night. The river stones are cool and damp. No one walks here now, only the temple guard with his spear and his torch. He walks with a slow, heavy gait. His shadow is long on the wall. He does not speak. He only breathes the night air. His presence is a reassurance to those who sleep. All is secure. In the small houses, the breathing of the sleepers is the only sound, a chorus of soft, steady inhalations and long, slow exhalations. The heartbeats of the people are slow, synchronized with the pulse of the earth. There is no worry here, only the deep, restorative rest of the weary. The work of the day is done. The work of tomorrow is a long way off. The mud walls of the huts creak occasionally. A settling of earth and wood. It is a natural sound, like a giant sighing in its sleep. The small lizards move quietly on the rafters, seeking tiny insects. Their feet make a tiny scratching, a sound so small it is almost silence. The city belongs to the shadows now, and the shadows are gentle. The great stone walls of the palace stand cold and firm. The peacocks are perched on the walls, their colorful feathers tucked tight. They do not move. They are like statues in their stillness. The sentries on the gates stand with their shields, their eyes fixed on the forest. They see nothing but the gray mist and the flickering light of the distant stars, high above the clouds. The stars are bright and constant. They have watched over the Dravidian lands for 1,000 years. They do not change. They offer a cold, beautiful light that does not reach the narrow lanes. But it is there, a canopy of eternity over the temporary lives of men. The moon is a silver bowl, pouring light onto the temple towers. As the hours of the night pass, the silence becomes deeper. It is a heavy silence, like a thick wool blanket. It presses against the doors. It fills the courtyards. It slows the blood. The fire in the kitchen is now only a memory of heat. A faint scent of wood and ash. The air in the room is cool, perfect for a deep and dreamless sleep. The forgotten temple, neglected in the forest, holds its breath. It knows of the empires that will fall. It knows of the languages that will change. It knows how the forest will reclaim the stone. But that is another time, a time that has not yet been born tonight. There is only the damp, the cold, and the peace. The people of Madurai sleep on the weaver, the potter, the carver, the laborer. They are all equal in the night. Their titles and their trades are laid aside. They are only souls in repose, resting their tired limbs, healing their spirits for the coming of the light. The city is a cradle rocking slowly in the hands of time. The mist begins to drift through the open doorways, a thin, ethereal finger of white. It touches the reed mats. It curls around the clay pots. It is the breath of the river visiting the people in their dreams. It brings the scent of the wet forest and the memory of the mountains. It is a cooling touch, a soothing presence in the dark. Somewhere in the forest, a nightjar calls, a long, low, rhythmic sound, chuck, chuck, chuck. It is a call to the night, a recognition of the stillness. The sound fades into the trees, leaving the silence even deeper than before. The world is a quiet place, a place of soft edges and blurred lines. There is nothing to fear, only the night. The temple bells strike the hour of midnight. The sound is muted by the mist, a dull, heavy thud of bronze, 12 times. It is the deepest part of the night, the time when the world is closest to the ancestors, the time when the dreams are most vivid. The people turn in their sleep, a rustle of cotton, a sigh, and then stillness. We walk back toward the river, our footsteps making no sound on the soft dust. The water is high now, lapping against the stone ghats. Splash, suck, splash. It is the sound of the world breathing, the rhythm of the tides, the movement of the moon. Everything is connected. Everything is at rest. The forgotten temple remains, its single lamp a tiny point of gold in the dark. It is a silent witness to a life lived in the shadows of history. A life of simple things, of rice and cotton and stone. A life that is long gone, but remains here, in the quiet of our minds. As we drift further and further away, into the mists of the past, the light will come again, but not for many hours. There is no need to think of the morning. There is no need to think of the work, the chores, the heat. There is only the now, the soft, dark, peaceful now. The city of Madurai is a painting in grays and blacks, a masterpiece of silence, a sanctuary of sleep. The shadows are your friends. They wrap around you like a heavy cloak. They protect you from the world. They guide you toward the center of your own rest. The air is still. The room is quiet. The world is far away. You are safe. You are warm. You are drifting down into the soft velvet night. The stone of the temple does not move. It stays still, resting in the dark. Its secrets are safe, for the change is not tonight. Tonight is for the ordinary. Tonight is for the small. Tonight is for the peace of the soul. The heartbeat of the city is slow, so slow, almost a stop, just a gentle rhythmic thud, thud, thud. The fog is the last thing we see. A wall of white that hides the huts, the streets, the river. It is a curtain falling on the day, a final gentle closing of the eyes. The world is gone. There is only the breath, the slow, steady breath of a city and a person at peace. As the stars turn overhead, the sound of the nightjar becomes a distant pulse, a faint reminder of life. But life does not matter here, in the long, slow shadows of the 8th century. There is only the quiet, the deep, the endless, quiet sleep now, sleep, sleep, sleep. The earth is cool. The mist is soft. The lamp is low. The night is long. And you are resting so deeply, so peacefully, in the heart of the ancient city, where the forgotten temple waits, and the world is still a dream. A distant, forgotten dream. In the quiet of the night, the mud walls are strong. They have stood for decades. They will stand for many more. They hold the coolness of the night in their grain. A faint, lingering chill that radiates into the rooms. The families are tucked away, like seeds in a pod, safe from the heat, safe from the light, safe in the dark. The river Vaigai is a road of ink, reflecting the stars in its ripples. The light is distorted by the water, long shimmering ribbons of silver and white. They dance a slow, graceful dance, never stopping, never rushing, just moving with the weight of the stream, toward the sea, toward the end of all things. In the quietest corner of the city, a small dog moves across a courtyard. Its paws make no sound on the dust. It is a shadow within a shadow. It stops to look at the moon, its eyes glowing like two small lamps. Then it moves on, disappearing into the shadows of the eaves. A silent guardian of the night. The forgotten temple on its hill is a bridge to another time. But we do not need to cross it tonight. We stay on this side, in the comfort of the familiar, in the rhythm of the breath, in the softness of the mat. The city is a lullaby, a song of stone and earth, sung by the wind for the weary. Sleep is a deep ocean, and you are falling slowly into it. The water is warm and clear. You sink through the layers of the day, leaving the noise behind, leaving the light behind, reaching the floor of the ocean, where it is dark and still and perfect. There is no movement here, only the being, the rest. The temple bells are silent now. The guard has finished his round. The city is held in a state of grace, a moment of pure, undisturbed existence. The history of the ordinary is the most beautiful history of all. The history of the quiet, the history of the sleep, the history of the night, We leave the city now, moving back through the fog, back through the centuries, leaving the weaver and the potter to their dreams, leaving the forgotten temple to its hill, leaving the 8th century to the shadows. The narration is fading. The voice is becoming a whisper, a breath, a nothingness. The air is cool. The mat is soft. The heart is slow. The mind is still. The story is done, but the peace remains. It stays with you, a constant companion in the dark, a promise of safety, a promise of rest, sleep, sleep, sleep. The morning is a lifetime away. The light is a myth. The world is a memory. There is only this, the soft, slow, rhythmic peace of the night, of the city, of the soul, drifting, drifting, drifting away into the long, quiet sleep. The streets are empty. The huts are dark. The river is silent. The temple is closed. The future is far, and the rest is near, so very near, just a breath away, just a heartbeat away, in the deep, soft, velvet, dark of the old, old city. May your dreams be of quiet lanes and gentle mists, of cool courtyards and soft cotton, of the slow pulse of a world that knew how to rest. You are part of that world now. You are part of the silence. You are part of the night. Sleep, sleep, sleep. The end of the day. The end of the work. The end of the thought. The beginning of the dream. The beginning of the rest. The beginning of the peace. Everything is as it should be. All is well. All is well. All is well. I can tell you more about the rituals of the ancient temple dancers or the quiet lives of the forest hermits. Would you like me to describe the evening routine of a spice merchant in the golden age of the Silk Road? Drift into sleep with the forgotten temples of ancient India. Continued. Hello guys, today we will know more about the city of Madurai in the 8th century. As the humidity of the night wraps around the stone pillars like a soft silk scarf, please allow your heavy eyelids to close. Let the weight of your body sink into the earth. We are returning to the quiet corridors of the Pandyan kingdom, where the scent of jasmine and wood smoke lingers in the stagnant air. This part of our journey is designed to pull you deeper into stillness, toward a place where the shadows are kind, and the world is very, very slow. The moon has climbed higher now. It is a pale, luminous orb reflected in the still waters of the temple tank. The stone steps of the ghat are cool, retaining the memory of the water that lapped against them during the monsoon. The sound of a distant bullock's bell is muffled by the heavy tropical air. Tink, damp, tink, damp. It is a rhythmic, tired sound. The sound of a city that has finished its labor and is content to breathe. We walk past a row of small houses, their mud walls smooth and cool to the touch inside. The shadows of clay lamps rest on the floors, waiting for a sun that is many hours away. In the outskirts of the city, the work of the night is slow and quiet. A village potter sits by the dying warmth of his kiln. He is a man of many years. His hands are stained with the gray clay of the riverbank. He is smoothing the edge of a water jar. His thumb moves in a slow circular motion round and press, round and press. The flickering light of a single oil lamp casts his shadow against the palm trees. a large, swaying shape that moves with the rhythm of his hand. The air near the kiln is warm and smells of baked earth and dry grass. A cricket chirps in the thatch of the roof, a tiny, sharp, persistent sound. It is the heartbeat of the forest, marking the passage of the night. The potter's head nods, his chin touching his chest, but he does not stop his work. He is part of the rhythm of the village, a silent weaver of clay who creates while the kingdom sleeps in its stone palaces. The heat from the cooling kiln is a gentle presence, a comfort in the damp night air. Outside, the lanes are becoming a sanctuary of silence. We pass the entrance to a small shrine where a devotee has left a basket of tulsi leaves. It smells of spice and damp greenery, a faint, herbal memory of the jungle. The basket is woven from split bamboo. The wood is dark and flexible. It sits on the stone pedestal, a hollow vessel in the moonlight. We look at it for a long time, letting its stillness become our own, letting our thoughts rest on the soft leaves. The forgotten temple on the hill remains unchanged. The lamp in the inner sanctum burns with a steady, unwavering flame. The light is a golden hue, illuminating the heavy stone carvings of the celestial dancers and the edge of a granite altar. Everything is in its place. A brass tray of offerings sits on the floor, the metal reflecting the light in tiny, bright sparks. But the flowers are withered, and the halls are empty. The door remains open to the wind, a passage between the world of the busy and the world of the eternal. Near the river Vaigai, the banyan trees are like great, sleeping giants, their aerial roots hanging down like skeletal fingers touching the dark water. The scent of the river is stronger here, a mix of silt and moss and wet stone. A fisherman sits in a small coracle made of hide and wicker. He has a small fire of coconut husks warming on a flat stone inside his boat. The fire crackles softly, a low, dry sound. He watches the water, watching the reflections of the stars as they rock in the slow current. The river is magnificent in its stillness. Its surface is like a sheet of hammered silver. The reeds at the edge rustle in the breeze, a sound like a low, whispering sigh. It is the sound of the earth's veins resting. The water has come from the western Ghats, through the spice forests, through the rice paddies. It brings the life of the mountains to the plains, but tonight, it only brings the silence of the flow. We listen to the ripple, 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 letting it lull us into a deeper rest. In the houses of the weavers, the air is cooler. The families are huddled together on their mats, their warmth a shared commodity. A father wakes for a moment to adjust the cotton wrap over his son's shoulders. He moves with the grace of a man who knows the value of a quiet house. He hears the wind in the palm fronds, a soft, persistent clatter, like dry fingers on a drum. He breathes in the smell of the damp earth and the old incense, and he falls back into a dreamless sleep. The children of the temple schools, those who live within the stone walls, find shelter in the pillared halls. They sleep on the cool granite, wrapped in single layers of unbleached cotton. The fabric is soft from use, a thin shield against the night. They are like small statues in a forest of stone. They do not feel the hardness of the floor as much as they feel the stillness of the gods. The temple is their mother, and the night is their blanket. They sleep with their heads resting on their arms. Small and silent in the dark, the stalls along the market square are dark, but the stone pillars still stand tall. The carvings of lions and elephants watch the empty space. A sound of the wind through the eaves. The stall of the grain merchant. The stall of the bangle seller. The stall of the spice trader. They are symbols of a world that is paused. The copper bells hanging from the temple roof are all still. 1,000 silent tongues. They are waiting for the wind, but we are not waiting. We are only being. We find ourselves back at the forgotten temple. The light from the small lamp seems to pull at the mist, creating a halo of gold around the granite. It is a beautiful sight. A glow in the center of the forest. We wonder about the monks who lived there. Were they happy? Were they quiet? Did they like the sound of the night jar? We do not need to know. Their story is part of the stone now. A ghost in the carving. A light in the dark. We let our minds rest on the cool, hard surface of the temple wall. The night is reaching its deepest point. The hour when the blood is slowest. The hour when the mind is most peaceful. The forest is breathing, a low, constant sound that blends with the silence. The city is a world of texture. The rough granite, the smooth mud, the soft mist, the coarse cotton. We feel these things in our mind, letting them anchor us to the present moment, to the here and the now. We are safe. We are still. We are at peace. In the great granaries of the king, the air is dry and smells of golden husk and dust. The piles of rice are like small mountains in the dark. The silence there is heavy. It has a weight of its own. The wooden beams of the roof hold the darkness, sheltering the wealth of the land. We imagine the silence of the grain, and we let it fill our own hearts, letting our worries be as small as a single seed. Lost in the vastness of the storehouse, the river Vigai flows on. It does not care for the kingdoms or their mysteries. It only knows the pull of the deep. It is a rhythmic, constant movement, a flow of liquid shadow. We stand on the bank and watch the swirls. They are like the patterns of a painted floor, moving and shifting in the dim light. The water is the earth's memory, carrying the day's heat out to the ocean. We let our thoughts flow with it, away from the shore, away from the light, into the deep. The forgotten temple is a beacon for the tired. It tells us that even in the forest, there is a lamp. Even in the silence, there is a prayer. We do not need to climb the hill. We do not need to find the priest. We only need to see the glow and know that the spirit is still there. The mystery is a comfort, a path that does not need to be walked. It is a place for the mind to rest, a place for the soul to sleep. The night jar's voice is far away now, a ghost of a sound in the trees. Chuck, chuck, chuck. It is right. The world is at peace. The kingdom is resting, and you are resting with it. The weight of the night is a gentle weight, a blanket of jasmine and mist. It covers your eyes. It covers your thoughts. It covers your heart. You are becoming part of the stone, part of the shadow, part of the silence. As the narration begins to fade for the final time, let the words become only a vibration, a soft hum in the warm air. The city of Madurai is a memory that is being washed away by the moon. The stone becomes gray, the light becomes white, the dark becomes a dream. You are floating, you are sinking, you are falling into the long, quiet, beautiful sleep. The forgotten temple is dark now. The oil has run out. The wick is cold. The lamp is extinguished, and the halls are still empty. But the morning is a promise that we do not need to keep yet. There is only the rest, the deep, restorative, endless rest, in the heart of the night, in the heart of the forest, in the heart of the soul. Sleep now. The bells are silent. The mist is heavy. The world is gone. You are safe. You are warm. You are home. Sleep, sleep, sleep into the soft, dark velvet silence of the long ago and the now and the forever. Would you like to explore the quiet dawn of a Himalayan monastery? Or perhaps the soft sounds of a desert caravan at rest in the 9th century?